table. Time to show your might. Watch your back from alliances. Move your pawns left and right. Want a cool game? I got the cool game for you. It's called Conquer the Kings. You know why this game is so cool? Because you can play it 2, 3, or 4 players. Let me show you here. 2 players, top and bottom. You guys are going at each other. You got all of this area to utilize your pieces to kick each other's butt. If you want to go 2 teams, you can use your army here and an army here. And I got these 2 armies, and we go at each other. We can go sideways like this. Look how the board looks from that angle. Pretty cool. All right. 3 players, which is really gets this game interesting. Think about it. 2 players, so what? The third guy's sitting there going, no, what am I going to do? Now he can play. He can come into the game. 1, 2, 3 armies. Now all 3 of you get all this area open to play your game. Kick each other's butt that way. Now we got 4 players. The beauty of this game is 4 players because it allows communication with battles. I did 4 years in the Marine Corps, man. Battles are about communication. Here we go. I'm here, my guy's here, he's my teammate. We go against these 2 dudes, man. Now, we're basically saying, all right, you're right there. I'm going to hit him here. You hit him here on our next 2 turns. This guy can't do anything because he's not even set up right. And we just kick their butts. Chess piece movement. We're going to start with the king first. We're going to go high to low on this. If you've never played this game, who cares? You're going to learn how to play it right now. Here's your king. Your king can move in any direction, 1 space at a time. That is this movement per your turn. Your queen, the strongest player on the board. Why is this? She can go diagonal as far as the board allows her. She can also go vertical and horizontal as far as the board allows her. She is truly the girl to watch out. Bishops can move in any direction diagonally. Remember this, since you have 2 bishops, you might want to set 1 on white and 1 on black. Why? Because you put it both on white or both on black. They will stay there the entire game. Could be an advantage if you're into the assassination mode. One goes into attack, another one comes in to back it up. Your knights. This is the one that's kind of tricky. They call it the L shape. I don't know the best way to explain it, but here's where I go. You can go in any direction you want. You can either go up 1 or up 2. If you go up 1, you can go over 2. If you go up 2, you can go over 1. If you go up 1, over 2, or up 2, over 1. You make an L. 1 long end, 1 short end, in any direction. Over 2, up 1, over 2, down 1. Over 1, up 2, over 2, down 1. If you look at it from a different point of view, you notice that if you look at wherever it's white, look at the opposite contrast of the 4 squares that make a circle around it. And those are the spaces it can take. Depending on how you look at it, that's how it is. Your rooks. Besides the queen, very important piece. More important than the bishop and the knight, thus they are worth more points, and we'll talk about points later. They can go horizontal or vertical as far as the board will allow them. This is not chess. This is Conquer the Kings. Your pawn now can move 1. Your pawn can now move 2 spaces every single turn. That is what matters here. You also have yourself a movement arrow. The movement arrow talks about the direction of your pawns. Since this is Conquer the Kings, now that you have multiple pawns on the table, you now have an army that is going in this direction. At the beginning of a turn, you can decide to turn this arrow. It basically now means that now my pawns are all attacking in this direction. Right flank, left flank. Retreat back to the king because you need some help because he's getting his butt kicked back there and getting pieces lost. All pieces start out forward at the beginning of the game. Here we have a mock setup to show a difference on moving your pawns to a different direction and what you can and cannot do. The first thing is that, let's just say it's my turn, white. This is my movement arrow. Blue's turn is this movement arrow. It would be over on the board, but since the camera shot, this is where it's at now just for representation. My pawn is moving forward this way due to the direction of the arrow. My bishop can do whatever it wants. This pawn here, as you can see from this arrow, is moving this direction. Since a pawn can only attack one diagonal from where it's at, neither pawn can attack each other. I decided at the beginning of my turn to change my pawn's attacks, and let's just say I have other pawns here, don't really matter, but to go in this direction. At this point here, I'm still allowed to move one of my pieces. The thing is, pawns cannot attack on the same turn that you changed your movement arrow, and thus this pawn cannot attack that one. Next turn it will be able to. So if this pawn does not move itself, then next turn this pawn would be able to attack it. But on the turn that it is done, you cannot attack. Just because you have changed your movement arrow and you know you cannot attack with a pawn does not mean your other pieces cannot attack. This piece here could still take this one on that turn in which you made the change.